and welcome to my channel. I'm Nicola Thompson at Inner Vision Therapy, and today I want to share with you some top tips on how to look after your mental health during lockdown. We're living in very strange and difficult times at the moment during lockdown, and with no real sense of when it might be fully lifted, it's important that we do look after our mental health. Very often we might lose routine, and that can make it even harder to look after yourself. So I want to share my 7 top tips on how to look after your mental health during lockdown. And the first one is get regular sleep. It's really important any time of the year, whether in lockdown or not, to get regular sleep. Try and have a regular bedtime, and even if you don't fall asleep straight away, you've gone to bed at your regular time, you're lying and you're resting. It's so important. And the next tip is also to have something else that's regular. Have regular meals. It can be so tempting to maybe skip a meal, especially if you're living on your own. It's more difficult to think about and prepare a meal just for one. But it is so important to have that routine of regular meals. And my next tip is try and get some daylight each day. If you can go outside, that's great. If you can't go outside, maybe stand by the window. Open the window if you can, but get some daylight and feel some fresh air. It's really important. It can really lift our spirits. And if it's raining, maybe just listen to the rain. If it's sunny, that's great. I love the sunshine and it lifts my spirits. But I also like any sort of weather. So if you can get to the window, notice what the weather is doing outside. My next tip is try and relax. In this difficult time with the lockdown and the coronavirus pandemic happening all around the world, we quite rightly have a heightened sense of danger. There is danger out there. We do have to be careful. We have to take safety precautions to protect ourselves and protect others. And so we're aware of this, and we do have this heightened sense of danger. So a little bit like being caught up in a fight or flight response, if you like. So it's really important to be aware of this and then to do things that are going to help you to relax. Whether that's doing some breathing, whether that's getting some exercise, and that can be any kind of exercise that you like. You don't have to suddenly take up jogging or doing aerobics at home. Any kind of movement, any way that you can be moving around on a regular basis, maybe once a day, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Breathing and taking some form of exercise is a good way to help you relax and can help come down from that heightened sense of anxiety or danger. And linked to that, the next tip is limit how much news that you watch. Of course, we need to keep up to date with what's going on, and it's very important that we know what the latest guidelines are, but that can sometimes increase our worry. Checking the news 2 or 3 times a day, maybe even more than that, can be quite worrying. So my suggestion is try and limit yourself. Maybe check the news in the morning and then again in the evening. Just think about trying to limit how much news you're watching. And another tip is try as best you can to stay connected to people. I know that's not possible for a lot of people. Some people are living on their own. Some people might not have access to the internet. But it's really important, as much as you can, to stay connected to people. That could be a phone call, it could be waving at your neighbour through the window or across the road. It could be organising some online video calls. But it is really important to stay connected. And the last tip is linked to that the one that I've just talked about, is to maybe try and set up some online social gatherings. We can't meet in large groups of people face to face, but what we can do is maybe set up an online chat, whether you do that on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, Zoom, Skype. There are lots of different platforms out there that you could use if you do have the internet and access to a computer or a phone. So something to think about is maybe setting up a virtual pub quiz or a virtual film night, perhaps even having lunch together with a friend on the phone, just sharing that time, and it's going to help you take the time to sit down and have some lunch or sit down and have some dinner, whereas you may have rushed it. It's so much better if you're going to share that time with a friend, even though you're not with them and it's distanced and it's on the phone. It's a really nice way to treat yourself and look after your mental health. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. As I said, they are tips that you could use at any time, but particularly important during lockdown. And because of the heightened sense of danger that we have, and some isolation also for people, it is so important to look after your mental health. If you have any questions, maybe pop them in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel and you'll be able to see other videos that I'm making about how to care for your mental health. So until next time, go well.